Well, after getting back to talking about a few Generation 7 Pokemon with Gumshoos last week, why not take a look at, Komala, making its debut during the lead up to Pokemon Sun and Moon. The funny thing is that this Pokemon didn't have a widely released trailer in the same way that many others did, but instead it was shown off in a trailer at a VGC event in Hong Kong, and later the official websites were updated with information. But now we had a brand new Pokemon revealed, and later down the line we would get to catch it in the video games. A single stage normal type Pokemon with the signature ability Comatose, which treats the Pokemon as if it's asleep. Therefore it cannot be affected by other status conditions and is able to use moves like Snore and Sleep Talk right away. Based on a koala which are able to sleep 18 to 20 hours a day, this is actually a great representation with a cool idea for a mechanical gimmick. Also, it's a really cute little dude, though it sorta just came and went like a few of the other Pokemon in these games. That is until one theory started making the rounds, that being that Komala is actually just a regular koala and the log it holds is a real Pokemon. Look man, Pokemon theories were going crazy in 2016, they were either insane levels of effort or just absolutely terrible. The evidence of this outlandish theory was that because the opponent thinks the koala is the target, it's unable to properly affect the true Pokemon with status effects. This also explains how it's able to move and battle while the koala remains asleep most of the time. And lastly, there was the fact that the shiny form only changes the color of a log, therefore that makes it the real Pokemon. Not totally outlandish though, with the Wobbuffet being a Pokemon that better utilizes this sort of ambiguity, like you know how the tail has eyes and is said to be protected at all costs. But for Komala, it just really doesn't work. Sure, there is also precedent for regular animals existing in the Pokemon universe, but Komala is pretty different from just a regular koala with the proportions and a few other little design flares that make it distinctly a Pokemon. It just stays asleep most of the time, and when we see it move, that's all it acting out a dream it's having, or at least reacting to the environment through light sleep, as is explained in the Pokédex entries that we would get. And then there's the case of the shiny form, as if Game Freak wouldn't just do that for fun. Me when the joke Pokemon has a joke shiny form. Though I guess you could rationalize it as the shiny Komala actually just being a very slight difference like we see with many other Pokemon, which also just happens to get a hold of a very shiny log. The whole concept is literally meant to be a Pokemon that's tossing and turning in its sleep while holding a pillow, and all this movement just happens to work as attacks against the opponent. And I don't mean to dunk on this old theory all that much because it never really gained a lot of traction back in the day, but I just think it's very funny to look back on how wild the speculation was during Generation 7. Hey guys, I got a brand new theory. What if Rellor is just a regular beetle and the actual Pokemon is the poop? For Komala itself, I always thought it was a neat Pokemon, though I never used it in a playthrough team or all that much elsewhere, though maybe it would be worth throwing into the roster in a future playthrough, especially because it's been able to stick around in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where it even gets some brand new Pokédex entries, one of which says that anesthetic can be made by using its drool. Ew, in the coolest way possible. Over in the anime, we got to see a lot of this Pokemon as one appears under the ownership of Samson Oak, so it'll be hanging around the school doing funny things here and there. There's a nice moment where we see the two of them meet and how it holds onto Samson while sleeping until it finds a log that it really likes. There's a moment where it meets a Jigglypuff from the previous episodes and they have a little face-off because Komala is unaffected by Sing. Funny too that the reality of this Pokemon isn't that it's so lazy and sleepy all the time, but instead is just hyperactive and aware while it's sleeping. There's a lot going on with it here and there, and it becomes a part of the main cast, popping up to lighten the mood in those episodes that focus on those other Pokemon. Like how during the pancake race it ends up winning the whole thing by rolling across the finish line with a slow and steady approach.
The winner is Komala!
I'm still making my way through the Sun and Moon anime, but I'm loving the idea of how Komala is depicted in the series, and I think it's a fun Pokemon to have alongside Samson Oak. They make a great pair. That would honestly be a fun idea for a future sync pair in Pokemon Masters. For being a relatively unassuming and unremarkable Pokemon, I honestly feel that it brings some of the much needed chill vibes to make the Alola region what it is. Komala is just such a cozy little Pokemon and one that's pretty hard to hate. I kinda want to get a plush of it now, or at least just a pillow shaped like that log. It seems pretty comfy. So let me know what you think about this sleepy Pokemon, and if you have any other weird theories or Generation 7 Pokemon that you'd like to see me discuss. Because for now I can say with absolute certainty that Komala is not actually the log. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, including the Great Gators, Air is Away, ELR27, DeAndre, Zanito, Jamarcus Nixon, Frix, Boss Dragon, Justin Dowes, Ben's Quizem, Mazhar Siddiqui, Cemetery Hill, Pastel Blood, Cosmo Zero, Mr. Saturn, Rainfrux, Cheez-It62, Alex Switch, Shiny Hunter, Michael Snyder, Lockadox, GatorKid509, TF, Mathicalog947, Taijirai, Justin R, Phantom, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, and sometimes early videos, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter as well for more memes. Anyway, this is GatorX, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.
Pokemon! Beyblade! On Disney XD! New Beyblade Burst Evolution in Pokémon the series Sun and Moon! Saturday! Saturday on Disney XD.